November 27th, 2025. Luke 19:10. For the Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that everyone who believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. Mark 6:20. Because Herod feared John and protected him, knowing that he was a righteous and holy man. When he heard John's words, he was greatly perplexed, yet he listened to him gladly. Acts 24:25. As Paul expounded on righteousness, self-control, and the coming judgment, Felix became frightened and said, "You may go for now. When I find the time, I will call for you." Reflection. When we miss the significance of creation, we miss the purpose of the Messiah. The promise of redemption was not for a select few, and it never will be. Those provisions were made for a few. The purpose has and will always be all-inclusive. God did not just love the elect. He loved his entire creation and sent the elect of his salvation to bring redemption to his entire creation, so that, by the first and only born of God, all who exist may receive the persuasion and have the ability to live the eternal life in the fullness of every day. Everyone knows good and evil, but not everyone aligns their conduct and preferences with good. Herod was convinced by both Jesus and John because of the provision of their existence. Both were something different. The kingdom clouded his view and understanding. Herod was the people's king, but Jesus was the promised king. Herod received and occupied the throne, but John fulfilled the promise and prophecy of the coming Messiah, the one in direct alignment with the righteousness of God. A discomfort forms when we are preoccupied with evil. Felix wished to dismiss Paul until a more preferred time was available. We must be sensitive to the Spirit enough to know when his sanctification is calling us into redemption. Prayer. Thank you for the provision of grace that brings us into the fullness of your love. You brought redemption to the core of creation and fulfilled the grace of your covenant through the life, death, and resurrection of Christ. May we choose the sanctification of our moral center when your righteousness consults with our preferences.